Viewer, if you're watching this, that means it's been one whole year since Marvel's animated anthology show What If first aired on Disney+. Well, maybe not exactly. I'm not sure precisely when this video will come out, but more or less. And that means it's time to do what this channel does best, to offer a momentary distraction from the terrifying, maddeningly quick passage of time by fixating on the ephemera of popular culture. So let's dig into What If and where the show stands 1 year on. This video is going to be a fair bit shorter than other similar retrospectives I've made though, and that's because as of now my channel's also 1 year old, so I made a fair bit of What If content back when the show was airing. Some of those videos, by modern pillar of garbage standards, are kinda aged and a bit basic production wise. I mean, Jesus, just look at these thumbnails, but a lot of my thoughts on this show have already been shared, particularly in my What If tier list video, which isn't a tier list so much as a fairly in-depth episode by episode review. So if you're coming to this video after having seen my previous Disney Plus anniversary retrospectives expecting a similar thing, honestly you're probably better off watching that one. In this video we're going to focus more on the 1 year on part of the title. I want to think about the status of this show, a year or so after it debuted, how valid some of these prevailing opinions are, and maybe suggest an alternative viewpoint or two. I guess the best place to start is the simple observation that, generally speaking, fan opinions of this show seem to have cooled down in a big way. Now, people didn't love the first episode to drop even then, but in the following weeks, viewers in 2021 seemed to really warm to What If. What you're seeing now are some of the original episode discussion threads, for instance. Nowadays, yeah, you'd be hard-pressed to find discussion this positive pretty much anywhere. And while 2022 has seen a lot of MCU TV negativity spring up, it's not typically this consistent. For instance, on comic book Twitter, you'll see a thread claiming, say, Loki or Moon Knight was an utter failure in storytelling, and then you'll scroll down and there'll be someone saying that same show is literally the best thing they've ever seen. I don't think I've ever seen someone whose favorite TV show, hell, even whose favorite MCU Disney Plus offering is What If, and I can kinda see why. There are some pretty flimsy aspects of this project. Some of the most common complaints concern the voice acting and the art style. On that first point, it's maybe fun initially to hear someone like Sebastian Stan reprising their role for this, but on rewatch it isn't great.
Who are you supposed to be? Queen of England?
Some performances are really good, often from the actual voice actors, but there is some decent stuff from the big movie stars too, particularly the Chadwick Boseman performances, which hit home extra hard for obvious reasons. So there is success here, but it's inconsistent. It's similar with those art style complaints. The standard, almost cel-shaded looking CGI palette here is sometimes elevated, combined with hand-drawn elements, and in moments like this, the look works, it really does. But moments like these are fairly few and far between. A lot of the time, this base style is too sleek, too devoid of character and maybe soul. It works as a canvas upon which to build. It works really well. I just wish they'd have done a little more of that building. I know I often tend to disagree with popular takes about projects like these, but there's two more common critiques of What If and its legacy that I think have a lot of weight behind them. First, Captain Carter. What if Peggy took the serum instead of Steve? Cool idea, Peggy was a great character. I don't adore the episode we got out of that premise, it sticks a little bit too close to the first Avenger to feel like a truly satisfying use of What If's potential, but sure, it was fun to see this character center stage and suited up. But, and no disrespect at all to Hayley Atwell, that's probably where this character should have ended. Look, maybe we keep her Multiverse of Madness cameo, that was pretty solid, she felt like the Illuminati member with the most substance to her character other than maybe Professor X. But I'm really not sure there's a need to continue the Captain Carter saga in Season 2 like they're doing, and I really don't love the idea of a Captain Carter solo show, which yeah, is rumoured to be in development. And the reason my feelings on this go past indifference and into trepidation is because Sam's Captain America now. I really don't think it's a great look on Marvel that they gave the cinematic mantle of Cap to an African-American superhero 3 years ago and have shown him precisely once since then, but seem to be going full steam ahead with so much Captain America-esque content starring Peggy. I doubt there's any real malice on Marvel's part here, but I'm still not a massive fan of the pattern that seems to be developing. And Captain Carter shouldn't have appeared in the season 1 finale because there shouldn't have been a finale. Or at least a big multiversal crossover-based finale. That's the other big what-if take I think I agree with. This show didn't need to be serialized, even loosely. It didn't need this massive existential threat to orient itself around. 1 year on, it's increasingly clear that this is a feature, not a bug, that Marvel feels the need to write in seismic, catastrophic crises to all their shows, except for Hawkeye, but I guess that's the exception that proves the rule. It's like they're worried they won't be able to retain audience attention without some explosive flourish at the end of each show, when in reality the opposite is probably nearer the truth, and the requisite big showdown at the end of What If feels even more bolted on than most. I don't even really dislike the last 2 episodes in themselves, and I quite like this new take on Ultron, but it just feels like they're the clearest look at the central ethos of the show, revealing a project not content to be a fun little addendum to the MCU, a project which wants or needs to be more, and I'm just not sure there's enough here to be more. It's hard to care about these characters and these worlds when half the episodes feel like they end 10 minutes too soon, but the finale does want us to care. Honestly, one route they could have taken here would have been to embrace this lack of involvement, to dial down the emotional stakes, and go for a Suicide Squad type disposability for these variants. That would have been a creative solution to the odd emotional limbo this series creates, where we kinda know these characters and kinda care about their survival, all the while knowing there's a literally infinite number of near-identical beings just one universe hop away. But it didn't go down this route, and that's fine, obviously. I'm not criticizing What If because it didn't do that thing I just imagined. That would be silly. But I think areas like this speak to a real sense of unease within What If. It feels uncomfortable being an anthology show, a bag of loose ends, when that's kinda what it is. And that isn't a bad thing. Those What If comics were at their best when they embraced their episodic, standalone nature. Each one was a brand new, if limited, slate, which picked a silly idea and single-mindedly pursued that idea, and that idea alone. This show wasn't WandaVision or Loki. It wasn't, and should never have been, its own story. To use a gaming metaphor, it was more a DLC or standalone expansion than a AAA release. And you get the sense it might have been a little more successful, a little more fondly remembered, if it had remembered that more often. It's hard to blame the show too much for this though, because these distinctions didn't really exist in TV even 5 years ago. This is something streaming has brought on, and I think we're going to see it more and more in the near future. Maybe then we'll look back and see What If as groundbreaking. Who's to say? I want to end with a tweet I saw the other day. What If was being compared to Harley Quinn, Invincible, and the 90s X-Men cartoon, and I think this sort of mental equivalence is where a lot of the persisting negativity around What If comes from. I don't think we should be holding What If up against the likes of Invincible or Harley Quinn, because it really isn't the same. It's not really an original animated comic book show. It's an often fun, occasionally gripping slab of bonus MCU content. A high-budget, slick production that picks up underused settings and character pairings and imagines a world where they come together. At its best, some of these imaginings are dynamic. Seeing Loki and Nick Fury match wits with a deranged Hank Pym feels like grabbing these characters and smashing them into one another like conkers or Beyblades. In moments like this, there's almost a sense of postmodern vertigo. It's dizzying to see just how much newness, or faux newness, can be spun out of franchised nostalgia. To see this possibility for endless, autonomous free play between IPs and trademarks and... Sorry, I'm getting carried away. The key point I want to make though is that there's stuff to like here. There's interesting qualities to What If, as long as you don't view it as just a TV show like these others. If you take it for the weird little package it is. Honestly, I think we're best envisaging this show not as something like Spider-Man Freshman Year or X-Men 97, but as something like I Am Groot. A little thing, its own thing. It's not really our fault for trying to view it through a more standard lens. Disney promoted it as such, dropped it week by week, gave it the veneer of normalcy, and seemingly almost managed to convince What If itself. But it isn't WandaVision or Invincible, and at its best, it doesn't try to be. It's a bag of loose ends. It's What If. Sometimes, anyway. That's the end of this mini retrospective though. There'll be a playlist of all the other longer ones I've done for the MCU's Disney Plus content on screen at the video's end, so check that out if you're new here, but otherwise I'd love to hear what you think of What If, or of my take on it. But hey, thanks for watching, and shout out to all my patrons on screen now, especially Ian Fifield and Kevin Douglas.